zombie.
Konnichiwa, konnichiwa, and yobaseo. Will here with the POLIT'AI CHI, quickie Poly Ranch. Very excited the clip's coming up as to why the Poly Ranch is such with the Scaramucci debacle. Quickest changeover in history. But it's more of a critique rather, of Hannity, whom the POLIT'AI CHI has come to really take as a primary news source, but just when I think he's kind of going more centered, rub his right of center, he makes no bones about it, that it is a POLIT'AI CHI. He goes off on these little rants sometimes, like he's excusing Scaramucci's behavior, and you'll hear that coming up, and it's like, okay, well, loyalty to number one does not empower said individual to go off, or, you know, because it's off the record, bleepity this, that, and the bleepity other. You must conduct yourself with class and dignity at all times. If I've said it once, I've said it 187 times on this channel. Number two, and primarily, those of you Fox devotees, you may have noticed Meghan McCain has not been at work for a while. Why? Because you'll see here at the end where Hannity uses some more respectful language. Well, the night before, quote unquote, he referred to the 7 senators who were causing the delay, or the difficulty rather, in the vote that took place the next night when they were burning in midnight oil. And I quote, "These 7 senators epitomize the swamp and the sewer that is Washington, D.C., the city we are broadcasting from tonight." Unquote. Throwing McCain in there, any senator in there, frankly, using the sewer language. You know, I'm starting to worry maybe Sean Hannity is starting to suffer from, how do you fit that head through doorways, Bill O'Reilly-itis? And you know, Meghan did not take kindly to that, and even though her father's been back to work, she hasn't, because you know they're probably mingling around there in that building, where the studios are. It's not like they just show up for an hour and leave. No, I could vouch for it. There's a one-man everything here, post-production. Whether I show an hour's worth of videos or 1 minute, it still takes 2 to 3 hours to put this all together. And for all of Sean's, you know, I'll give him credit, he hasn't brought it up in a while, his brown belts, black stripes, still don't know what form do. If you're going to bring that up, you got to pay homage to the martial art you're studying. 32-year practitioner, Hapkido, Shoryun-ryu, Kempo. Meghan McCain can take it. You slighted her father in a way that you can't take back. Alright, thanks for watching. Those silly DUIs. While you're out there, OMSR and POLIT'AI CHI original going back 2 years. Roll clips.
Very shortly, Reince is a bleeping paranoid schizophrenic, a paranoiac. Then Scaramucci goes on to say about Bannon, quote, "I'm not Steve Bannon. I'm not trying to build my own brand off the bleeping strength of the president. I'm here to serve the country." That about the president's chief strategist. Scaramucci, in his defense tonight, has gone on to Twitter to say he regrets the colorful language. He's going to be more careful. And he adds, quote, "I made a mistake in trusting in a reporter. It won't happen again," Sean.
All right, let's talk a little bit. I spoke to Anthony Scaramucci tonight. He says he believes in every way that he told this reporter it was off the record. We've got conflicting reports on that. But then it's he said, he said.
Yeah, and look, the New Yorker has not been friendly to this president. That's an open secret. And so whether the ground rules were worked out or not, and as you say, there were only 2 people on that phone call or that conversation, so we don't know for sure. Obviously, if you're the incoming White House communications director, you're going to have to be careful about communications, particularly with a reporter from an organization that has frankly been hammering the president every which way. So look, Scaramucci got high marks in the early hours, first few days. Let's remember, it's only been barely a week since he was announced, Sean. So much has happened. But he got high marks for being a street fighter, somebody who understands the president and is going to be more forceful and aggressive in getting his message out. The challenge tonight is when you have this kind of colorful language, that might attract not just media interest, but some people like Newt Gingrich, other conservatives tonight, saying that they think this is all a distraction. Get it back on jobs and healthcare, the other parts of the agenda that, as Mike Emanuel said, are being fought out tonight, Sean.
All right, I'll have more in just a moment, my commentary on this. All right, but it is make or break night tonight. Live here for the Republican Party and Obamacare, repeal, replace. GOP lawmakers They only have themselves to blame. They're in this situation. That is tonight's opening monologue. When we start the program tonight, I got to tell you, it's really a shame that we are at this point with Senate Republicans having to pull an all-nighter. They're sort of taking toilet paper, they're wetting it down, they're throwing it up against the wall. That's their strategy. See what sticks strategy and pass some kind of health care bill so that they can then go to conference with House Republicans and eventually come up with a plan to do what they promised to do. That's repeal and replace Obamacare. Now, Senator McConnell just posted details of the, quote, skinny Obamacare repeal. Republicans, they begged you, the American people, for this opportunity for 7 long years, and they are now doing their best to squander it. There's no other way to spin this. Now, yesterday, 7 GOP senators, they voted against the clean repeal of Obamacare. Some of them voted for that very bill in 2015. It makes you wonder if everything you've been told for years was just all talk. Now, it sure certainly seems that way. And as I said last night, these senators have put Republican advantages in Congress now in jeopardy for 2018 because we don't know how the vote on the skinny repeal is ever going to turn out, and we'll be following it all night tonight. Also, Republicans, they had 7 years to come up with a plan, 7 years to find consensus and agreement, and that didn't happen. It's been one misstep after another. They literally let this all play out in public, on TV and radio and in the papers, instead of everybody getting in a room, as I suggested, locking the door, taking their phones, ordering pizza, having beer and Coke and 7-Up and water, so that they could have the plan that works for the American people. Aren't the Republicans, and I'm a registered conservative, aren't they supposed to be the party of big and bold ideas? Well, they're now today the party, I say, of zero identity. They seem too afraid, too timid, too spineless to go beyond the status quo. They played this way during the Obama years. The GOP is supposed to be the party of repeal, replace. They're supposed to be the party of freedom and liberty and capitalism and less regulation and government interference in our lives and free market solutions. Right now, they have no vision, they have no identity, and there's no unity. And they didn't even try to offer up big, out-of-the-box ideas. I've been talking about these ideas for over 15 years, how to fix our broken healthcare system. Remember this doctor in Kansas? I've been interviewing him since 2012, Dr. Josh Umber, Atlas MD. I've interviewed him all these times. He runs a healthcare cooperative. It's $50 a month for adults, $10 a month for children. They have no copays, unlimited office visits, 24-hour doctor service available for you, free procedures, 95% reductions because they negotiate directly with the pharmaceutical companies, and you leave with your medicine as soon as you leave the doctor's office, and the same with lab tests. Why not let other doctors, and by the way, some 400 already are doing similar things. They didn't even bring these ideas up, just like health savings accounts. Now, there's some good news today. The House did vote to fund some of the president's border wall, but that still has to get through the Senate. And finally, Republican lawmakers, their inability to get things done, here's the truth. It's harming you. And at this point, it seems like the only person in the Republican Party who has a vision, is articulating that vision, is the president himself. And you see the reaction that he gets and the crowds that show up when he speaks. And earlier this week on the Senate floor, after returning to Washington from his brain cancer diagnosis, Senator John McCain made these comments.
I hope we can again rely on humility, on our need to cooperate, on our dependence on each other, to learn how to trust each other again, and by so doing better serve the people who elected us. Stop listening to the bombastic loudmouths on the radio and television and the internet. To hell with them. They don't want anything done for the public good. Our incapacity is their livelihood.
Incapacity? You're blaming us? That's our livelihood? Look, Senator McCain is in our thoughts and prayers. We've had a love-hate relationship for many, many years. I wish him personally a speedy recovery. But what he said, I have to disagree with.